Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. Today we're going to review a very special perfume. Unexpected. Suave, darling, suave. We're going to review Elizabeth Taylor's Gardenia. I have the Eau de Parfum here, 100ml bottle. I've unboxed it. Boy, oh boy. Let's just check out the ingredients very quickly. Look at these beautiful ingredients. It's made in the beautiful US of A, baby. And from the House of Taylor. Yeah, Elizabeth Taylor has its own manufacturing and production, which is fabulous. This is not your regular celebrity perfume that is made by Coty or whatever. No, no. This lady has been around for decades as a perfume house from the House of Taylor, making their own fragrances. And check out all of those flower oil, Citrum aurantium, Cananga odorata oil extract is in there. We have jasmine oil extract in there as well, rose ketones, vanillin, and so on and so forth. Okay, okay. I found this little baby at Ross the other day. It is a cheapie. Now, there are those perfume snobs out there, elitists, they do not care about the cheapies. I love them. If there is a good cheapie out there, I will praise it and I will adore it and I will recommend it. Hashtag not sponsored. I bought this myself. I got it for, what was it? Let's have the price here. $16.99. Look at that. 100ml bottle was $16.99. Okay. And I was like, oh yeah, blind purchase. Let's test it out because I love me a good gardenia and I love my Chanel gardenia. Very much so. In all of its concentrations. Eau de toilette, a little bit less so. EDP, love. Parfum, love. Now, this is the new one. It's green. It's transparent. Let me cut out a little green screen moment here for you. Bam. Now you can see the bottle. I adore this bottle. It is like Egyptian kind of pillar. Would be more like this. Upside down. And then at the top, we have this gorgeous three-dimensional frosted plastic gardenia flower, metal ring around the collar, and a golden sprayer. So elegant. There is absolutely no name on it. There's a sticker at the bottom with the concentration and batch code and the quantity. It says 100 mil Elizabeth Taylor Gardenia. And it is like a gardenia bush green, and then the gardenia flower is white on top. I love this. So simple, so beautiful. And we're going to spray it on. Now, I can tell you this much. Wonderful projection. It's a little beast. Behind the knee only. For the sake of the review, I will spray it here as well, but it is strong. So you don't need, I'll do it here and here, because I always do that, right? To get to the dry down quicker here, and then stay in the top notes longer up there. Okay. Oh my gosh. It is kind of shaped like a coffin as well, a little bit, isn't it? It's a cheapie, but it smells. Oh, God, I love this one. It is as close as you can get to a gardenia. I mean, for 17 bucks, it smells of that buttery, toxic green smell of a gardenia in a garden. Oh my God, I love this one. Okay, it's such a complex, simple yet complex perfume. We're going to get to it. First, let's read what Elizabeth Taylor's website has to say about this perfume. Because, believe it or not, they have their own website as well, obviously, for their fragrances. And it says, on hot summer nights in Bel Air, California, floral scents soaked the warm breeze crossing Elizabeth Taylor's home garden, ushering in a breath of sweet air for all to enjoy while lounging outside, courtesy of her own green thumb. Elizabeth had one of the most exquisite gardens in the city, fully delving into her love of nature. Jasmine, lily of the valley, and lush green arches of shrubbery, climbing roses, and trees accented the vibrant outdoor space. But perhaps her most cherished blooms were those of the gardenia bushes. She loved their aroma so much that she wished she could bottle it up and take it on the go with her. A piece of home while she was away. Setting out to do just that, she and her team concocted her beloved fragrance, Gardenia. Simply named after its inspiration, the text goes on Elizabeth Taylor's website, Gardenia is Elizabeth's most minimalist scent. Unlike the heady musk of white diamonds or the elusive bergamot notes of passion, she wanted this fragrance to be as pared down as possible to give everyone a piece of the magic she experienced in her garden. In fact, she instructed her perfume partners to capture the scent of a gardenia flower from her very own garden. Eventually, hints of peony, orchid, and fresh green leaves were added to the final makeup to create a foundation for the fresh gardenia scent to stand strong as the top note, just as Elizabeth had intended. It was released in 2003. Released in 2003. So we got green notes, lily of the valley, gardenia, peony, orchid, musk, and carnation in the dry down. I cannot tell you how much I love this shit. It is, oh my God. Now, Chanel's Gardenia. Let me spritz it right next to it. There you go. Shut the front door. You know what? You can even layer them. Oh my God. Chanel's Gardenia nails more that green, toxic aspect of gardenia, which I adore. They both have coconut in there as well. But Elizabeth's, and I'm just, because the bottle is green, I'm not going to lift it. You're going to be blinded every time. I'll just lift the lid, and you can use it as an earring. Wouldn't it be gorgeous as an earring? Oh, very 90s. Anyway, Elizabeth's Gardenia. So, as I was saying, Chanel's Gardenia, which I adore, is more that cold green side to gardenias. Elizabeth's Gardenia is a buttery green poisonous smell. Oh, and then they softened it down with the peony and a little bit of jasmine. Oh my God, the orchid. Shut the front door. This thing is so conceptual. It is minimal but conceptual in a good way. It literally, it tells you, like, if I were to not tell you how much this perfume costs, if I were to not tell you the name of the perfume, if I were to not tell you that it's an Elizabeth Taylor perfume, okay? If you were blindfolded and I were to test the perfume for you without telling you the name, the name of the perfume and who made it, and if without telling you the price, and you just smelled the perfume without knowing what perfume it is, I bet you would say, oh, this is different. Oh, this is, this is niche. It has something in it that is, it's not easy to wear. But then again, gardenias are not easy flowers to have at home. They are so intoxicatingly strong in their smell when they're blooming. You either love them or you can't stand them. They give you nausea if you cannot handle them. If you can't handle the smell, it is a very, very specific smell. Gardenias are buttery white green. And that butter, it's almost indolic. It's like acid butter indole with a green, lush, plump, peachy smell. It's fleshy. It's a fleshy green white smell. And it's very specific to the flower. And we know we cannot really extract the fragrance of a gardenia and turn it into perfume form. It's one of those rare examples where it's not possible. So you have to kind of mimic the smell of gardenia when you create a perfume by combining different ingredients, different aromas, different accords together to create the illusion. And that's where perfumery hits the magic accord. Elizabeth Taylor being very close friends with Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson being obsessed with magic, with David Copperfield, with magic tricks himself. You know how Michael loved to do the pose where he's like kind of falling down on his feet and then comes up again. That's also a magic trick that's utilized. Well, for me, gardenia perfumes are a beautiful example of magic within perfumery. Just because all perfumes are kind of magical because they create these illusions and stories. But the gardenia in particular as a flower, because it cannot be synthesized per se into perfume form, but you have to, because it kind of falls apart. They can't manage to, look, I'm no scientist or biologist or chemist, so I cannot really explain to you why they cannot extract um, like they can for a rose or for a jasmine, the essential oil out of it, or through any form of different versions of extraction through fat or through distillation. There's a lot of different versions of it. With a gardenia, it doesn't really work. But through history and time, chemists have found the magical way to create the illusion of a gardenia. Some perfumes come closer to what some perfumes get close to the smell of an original gardenia, while others are a fantasy that utilizes an idea of gardenia within it, you know. But Elizabeth Taylor's gardenia, in a very simple way, gets so close to the magic of creating the illusion, you know, of that gardenia being there with you. It's amazing. And what is even more amazing, it proves that it's all possible. This wonderful, huge magic is possible for a very low cost. I mean, can it get any better? I don't think it can. Love it. It is not a perfume you want to kind of stick into your nose because just like a gardenia, you need distance. This is why I say best is to spray it behind your knees only. Do not spray it on your neck, chest, all of this. No, no, no. This perfume is best when it's at a big distance from you. It's like here, and then and then you let it kind of develop in the air as it's getting to your nose. And that's when it hits the right note, the cue, you fine tune it just the right amount, the right way, and you get that illusion fully realized. Like all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, there's a gardenia bush somewhere nearby, you know? Of course, if you kind of dig your nose into your skin, it's going to be very strong. You need the distance. Now, by very strong, I don't mean strong like rolling in a puddle of oud. No. For a white floral, strong. I actually get more than 8 hours out of it, and I love the musky carnation dry down. After 2 hours or 3 hours, I start getting wafts of this, and I love carnation. I love carnation in perfume. Cloves and carnation, love them. They give me a specific type of powdery warmth, but also floral wetness. Like it's a beautiful combination of both. And it does have a sort of velvety red smell to it, you know, carnation. Really beautiful. So, and oh, that peony in there as well, that buttery, musky texture. So delicious. Oh, Beulah says, so is there a Y2K vibe to it since it's from that period? Yeah, you could say. You could say it has the timbre. Just like there's a certain vibration in there that is giving off a Y2K moment. You know what I mean? Like, eh, but it's also timeless because like their description says on their own website, they really wanted to tone this down into something super simple. It's like almost a straightforward soliflor. It's not, but it's giving the idea of a soliflor. And they really wanted to kind of just minimize, empty it to the point where you have this beautiful concept of a gardenia on you. And it's not an easy one to love. And matter of fact, it's the least known of the Elizabeth Taylor, because usually everybody knows in the past it was Passion. Passion was the #1 Elizabeth Taylor perfume. It was also her first. But nowadays, White Diamonds has surpassed in sales, allegedly, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truth or facts. Everything's alleged in just my opinion. White Diamonds has allegedly surpassed in sales Passion. Passion was also released as a male version. So we have Passion for women, Passion for men, and then there's White Diamonds and many flankers of White Diamonds. And then there's another perfume, another Elizabeth Taylor perfume because of a round bottle. And then there's Gardenia. But Gardenia is not like her, like the epitome of her fragrances, you know what I mean? People know Passion, people know White Diamonds, but they don't really know Elizabeth Taylor's Gardenia. So this one was constructed kind of not out of the need to sell a lot of it. This one was already later in Elizabeth Taylor's life. This one was already in a period where money maybe was a factor, but the concept of this perfume, it doesn't smell of, oh yeah, let's make a lot of money with it. It smells like an idea, like a poem about a gardenia that grows in a garden where Elizabeth Taylor spent an important part of her life, where she really felt at home, and how to convey that feeling of a beautiful summer garden with all of these beautiful blooming, some night blooming, some day blooming white flowers that kind of fill the air as you're sitting with your friends on the lanai in the back garden, having a little cocktail after dinner, having fun, laughing, talking, playing games together. And you get those little wafts of those beautiful flowers in the summer night Bel Air air. That's the vibe. It's like having a picture that you kind of took out of a photo album of Elizabeth Taylor's life in that house. And it's a picture of the garden at night with people in the background. They're not really focused. It's a little bit all unfocused. So you see there's people sitting at a table and they're surrounded by greenery and shrubbery, and they're having a jolly old time. There's light on that table, candles or something. And then you see shadows of the garden, of the plants all around, and those are the gardenias. And it's a mood. So it's a concept of a perfume very, very rooted into memory. And it smells of memory. And this is one of the latter perfumes of Elizabeth Taylor in her lifetime, is also very symbolic to me, because the other complex, complicated, more, heavy on the musks and deeper ones like Passion and White Diamonds, those are staples and statements, and they scream and shout, and big hair, shoulder pads, her purple eyes, Gardenia is like the intimate Elizabeth Taylor. Passion and White Diamonds is the stage presence Elizabeth Taylor. Passion and White Diamonds are Elizabeth Taylor on celluloid, on film, on the silver screen. Elizabeth Taylor, giving her speeches for the AIDS Foundation. Elizabeth Taylor being present on stage, full makeup and hair. While Gardenia, no makeup. She's not on a stage anymore. She's at home. And that's why it's also more minimalist. There's way less ingredients there. There's way less accords in there. Not ingredients, accords. It's more an intimate moment of Elizabeth Taylor, but don't be fooled for a second, because just because the makeup is off, and just because we do not have an official public stage where to perform, we still have character. We still have that strength of character, that will to live, to survive, to fight on. And that's what this perfume has. It has those claws. It kind of like just latches on and it sticks, you know, but in a very simple way. It's very intimate, very homey. It's a concept of the feeling of intimacy rather than it being intimate. And that's why this one is hard for many people to love and to wear and for it to be a bestseller, because it takes time to understand it. It takes time to learn how to dose it right also for yourself. It's not going to smell the same on every skin. Not everybody's going to be able to wear it in the right, you know, maybe on somebody it will work on the chest. On me it doesn't. On me it works behind the knee. I need the distance from the nose to it for it to be the best way it can be. And I feel like if, you know, and you have to experiment with it. You can't just like spray it here and be like, and then wait an hour and like, oh, you know, different parts of the body, every day, different part, until you find the right spot on your body where to plant this gardenia bush, this plant. Very conceptual. It's like your body is Elizabeth Taylor's garden, and you have to find the right spot where to plant this gardenia to get the best effect out of it, so that it permeates throughout the entire garden just the right amount, so that it doesn't overbear if it's planted too close to the table where you sit every night with your friends, you know, for a cocktail or for a game of cards. You don't want it to be too far away either, because then the wind and the breeze might take that beautiful fragrance away from you. You have to find just the right spot on your body where to plant, this flower. And man, so beautiful. $16.99. Are you freaking kidding me? 100 ml eau de parfum. No, this is a no. I mean, matter of fact, I bought a backup bottle. I have that one time I have seen Elizabeth Taylor's Gardenia at Ross. Usually I see Passion, I see White Diamonds, all the different iterations of White Diamonds, different sizes, bigger bottle, smaller bottle. But I've only ever once seen at Ross Gardenia, and I bought it. Snatched it up, loved it, ran the next day, bought the second bottle because they had to. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is backup worthy. Also because I want to know how this will age. This is going to be really beautiful to, like a good wine, to keep this one on the side and see how it does 5 years from now, 6 years from now. If, you know, heaven willing, we're still here 5 years from now, it would be really great to see how the bottle ages, right? Now, because this one I feel will probably be half empty or empty. So it's going to also get some oxygen in there. It's going to marinate nicely. And then the bottle that's still sealed, it's like that good wine bottle. I want to see how that ages. I don't know how this one will age. It smells very, it has a zesty acid touch to it, you know, when you smell it. And then that butter aspect of that fleshy, carnal butter aspect of the white floral gardenia smell. So there's to see if that is going to go rancid after years or if it's going to stay relatively stable. All depends on how well the fixatives are in this fragrance, and we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. For now, it's delicious. And it blends so well with Chanel's Gardenia. I'm getting wafts of them both because they're both on my skin now. So Chanel's Gardenia is more elegant. I mean, they have, you know, their ingredients are maybe a little bit more sophisticated, but Chanel's Gardenia remains cooler and more detached, as most Chanel perfumes do. Elizabeth's Gardenia welcomes you in. It's something so beautiful about how they balance this formula. This perfume keeps enveloping you. It keeps kind of embracing you, hugging you, calling you in for a hug. And I kid you not, I get goosebumps. Every time I smell it, I hear Elizabeth laughing. You know how she had that beautiful pitched laugh, which was not how it was, it was like somewhere up there. And I hear that every time I smell it. It's so beautiful. It's like getting a picture out of a photo album of her life. Man, they did a great job with this one. This, you know, one of the best cheapies out there. I really, no words. Highly recommend. And for 17 bucks, I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe on Amazon, you know, price varies. I guess at Ross it was cheaper, maybe even. I have seen it also for $20 on Amazon at the moment. Well, I've also seen it for $18, but I've never seen it for $16.99. So like round it off to $17. I think that's a great price. I mean, you know, if you give this some of those bougie niche branded names, and you could easily slap a $400 price tag on it, and people will be like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Ugh, I hate that elitism. But so, so dreamy. So beautiful, without too much fanfare, without too much flair. You know, it's beautiful. It just knows it is. It doesn't have to overact. It doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. It just exists. And that is more than enough. So let me know if you have one of these little beauties, if you've tried it out, if you've tested it, if you have enjoyed it, if you wear it, if you don't like it. Is this one of your favorite gardenias or not? I love both. I love gardenias in general. I also love the gardenia in Giorgio Beverly Hills. I also love that crazy Comme des Garçons chlorophyll clash gardenia, which is a very fun version of a gardenia, which I also love. And I also really like the gardenia which I also have in that golden bottle. The what's the brand? Isabey Gardenia. Thanks, Beulah. Yeah. Isabey Gardenia is also a really good one that I enjoy. And then I like gardenias sprinkled throughout certain fragrances, you know. Like, for example, again, another Y2K fragrance like this one would be Pure Poison. Olivier Polge has his little pause in that one before he went to Chanel, and that one is a white floral fragrance. Also gardenia in it. Beautiful, beautiful gardenia as well. With a DNA of poison, of course, but Pure Poison in its first iteration from back in 2002, 2003, 2004, with a beautiful pearlescent bottle that has like different layers to it. And then they stopped making that expensive looking bottle. Now, current version of Pure Poison, different story. But man, oh man, gardenia, you know, we're so used to smelling jasmine in every perfume, right? Gardenia is a little bit more rare to utilize in fragrances and perfumery. It's a bit more tricky, but not to everyone's liking. But when done right, oh, it's such a conceptual beauty. Love it. It gives you the idea of poetry in nature, but in a man-made environment, like the garden of your house. You've built it, you've constructed it, and yet there's nature in there. And there's a beautiful duality between artifice and nature combined together. That's what usually gardenia gives if it's done right. Boy, oh boy, is this one done right, in my humble opinion. So let me know your thoughts down below if you have one of these. If not, you know, pros and cons according to you. To me, no cons. Love you loads. Never give up on fragrant love. Subscribe. Thumb up the video. Bye.